Oh, you know what I never did was test my mic, but I think it's good anyways. Okay, let's do this. Let's do this. Let me make sure that everything is up and running, and then I got a bunch of announcements for you guys. So, um, today is a huge day for me, and you may have noticed like I haven't been I haven't been uploading much to this channel, which does make me feel it makes me feel bad. I don't, it's not that I don't care about this channel. It's just I don't make anything doing it. And I got to pay the bills at the end of the day. I've talked about this a couple times on my streams. So I think for the most part, people are like understanding about that, But, fucking, let's turn this Apex music down. But, it feels weird because for so long I would post every week a reaction, every single week, and that hasn't been the case recently. So I just have to be honest with you guys now. Like I almost went live last week to tell you like what's going on. Why am I not uploading reactions? And again, it's really hard. It's just it's like I love this channel. I love so many of my subscribers. And I know it's not a huge channel. Like I don't want to act like, we have like a million subs or something. And I kind of hate that when someone gets like 300 subs and they're like, "We made it, guys. We fucking made it." Cuz no. But it's been a really good run. I've learned a lot about YouTube. I've learned a lot about growing a supportive community. Um and I've had a lot of fun, like moments that I'll never forget in my life ever. Some of the best moments of my life have been running this channel, live streaming, album reactions. I've live streamed to Starset one time, and God, it was awesome until they pulled the stream down, of course. But, at the end of the day, like I said, I got to pay the bills. And so let's get into this a little bit. Um, For those of you that don't know, I'm a 3D artist, and that is what I plan to do for my career. But for the last 2 years or so, I've been a podcast editor, and that's how I pay my bills. And I've worked on a lot of really cool projects. I actually edited a project or a video, a podcast. That was the word I was looking for. I edited a podcast with the drummer of Slipknot. I edited a podcast with the drummer of Deftones, people that drummed for Paul McCartney, like some of the best drummers in the world. I've edited things with like Lonzo Ball, people that know LeBron James, stuff like that. So I was doing things that I thought like at the time that like, oh, this might be like my dream gig. And it turned out it wasn't really that. So it's this long process. And meanwhile, I'm running a YouTube channel. And so I was just started a business as a podcast editor. And I just enrolled into an art school. And I was running this YouTube channel. So it was like a lot to go on. And I wanted to do my 3D project. So there's so much going on. So I've been on this long journey over the last year or so of just trying to like simplify my life, Um, and so I dropped out of art school because it was just like too much money, and I felt like I wasn't actually getting done the stuff I wanted to get done. And I talked about that on this channel, but obviously it didn't. Not a lot of you watched it, which is fine, but I understand that. Uh, but yeah, I had to be honest with myself. Like, if I want to make this career work out, what are the things I have to like prioritize? And so I did prioritize this channel because I thought like, oh, well, maybe I can do something with this and like mix this in with my 3D art and stuff. And so like I did make a music video that was fun. That taught me a lot. And you can still go watch that if you like. It did come out like 7 months ago or something, and it's not the best, but it was it was big for me. But I understand it's not like the most amazing thing. But it really bothers me that I've the amount of effort I've put into this channel, and not the community has shown so much support, and a lot of our videos do really well, and the support is like, wow, you're kind of underrated, or like, I really appreciate this reaction, and you have like some really good energy, or whatever it is. The people that support me, I know there's people that don't, and that's fine, but for the people that support me, it feels amazing. The sad part of it is I've made a total of like $14 running this channel, and that's because every single video gets demonetized, which to me is just like, it's such a gut punch, because it's not all about the money, but it's like I would love to do something like this full time. Like, that's always been my dream. And so that's why I started a second channel, which is all about my 3D stuff, and that channel doesn't get demonetized. But obviously, that's another thing that I have to do. And so that's become sort of a priority now, is like growing that side of my YouTube, or growing that YouTube channel, and making sure that I put enough time and effort into that one to make it look really, really good. And I gotta monetize that one. So that's been my priority, is monetizing that channel, and also focusing on my 3D career, and they kind of go hand in hand. And then meanwhile, this channel, it's like, it's just every time I go to like film a reaction, as much as I love doing it, when we get like good responses and the community is really supportive, and it really does energize me. It's just, again, and like I said, it's like a gut punch when it's like, not everybody can really do this. I know there's a lot of criticism against people that do reaction channels, but like, not everybody is built to do this. And over time you can get better at it. So I think most people could actually end up doing it if they practice enough. But like, it just sucks that, you know, you every time I get like the more subscribers I get, it doesn't make any sort of like material change in my life at all. And that's kind of what bothers me, is it's awesome that, we got 1,500 subscribers, but like, what's the number I need to where it'll make an actual change in my day-to-day life? And seeing what other reaction channels have done, and where they're at now, and how long they've been doing it, it's not really the path I want to take. Like, that's just me being honest with you. Um so yeah, so that leads us to like, what are we doing with this channel now? And honestly, I don't know. I've thought a lot about it, because I don't want to just leave this community behind. And by the way, you guys, it's probably going to be silent for a little bit. There's probably not going to be much content on this channel. But I would highly appreciate it if you stay subscribed, if you stay tuned in. But I'm not gonna force you to do that, and I'm also not gonna take offense to if you're like, "Oh, this guy's not posting, so I'm gonna leave." I get it. But just know I'm working on other stuff, and I'm also thinking about like, where am I gonna take this channel? And it might be a while before I really like get the first of all the time, and I'm able to prioritize this channel a little bit more, and the idea of what I'm gonna do with this channel, because it's hard to make it anything but music related at this point, and I understand that. It would be a huge rebrand if it was anything else, and those typically don't go too well. So, um, I've thought about a lot of things, trying to relate it to my 3D or something. Um, I thought about doing like film reviews and stuff like that because I really love film. Because as a 3D artist, a CGI artist, it's in the film industry, and so I take a lot of inspiration from that stuff. But at the end of the day, people are still just going to be like, "Hey, where's this reaction to this and whatever?" So it's like I probably should keep this all music related, but I don't know what that's going to look like or when that's going to happen. Um, but I do plan on doing some reactions if like there's a huge release that drops and I just feel like, you know what, this would be fun. Like I really like Issues is working on some new stuff and I really like Issues and I'm really curious to hear what they're going to sound like on their next record. So I'll probably check that out depending on what my life is like at the time. But yeah, exciting things coming up. Um for Yeah, I mean exciting things for me, but you know, I don't know where this channel is gonna go. It's basically that's the topic of this video, right? So, but if you want to keep in touch with me and you want to keep in touch or follow what I do and see where we're at with things, you can do that by following me on Instagram. I have a personal and I have a business account now. So the business account is jham.3d. Let's see if we can get this on the screen. I mean, I know I can, but like OBS, sometimes it's so stressful. Let's see. You know what? I'll just pull it up. It's jham.3d on Instagram. No, it's this one. And okay, there we go. So jham.3d on Instagram, and this is where you can keep track of all of my 3D stuff that's going on. And if you have a business question, business related question, go ahead and shoot me a DM. If you need like an album cover design or something like that, definitely, feel free to hit me up and we can work something out. So super stoked for this. I got a lot of crazy stuff on here. And let's take a look at just to show you some of the stuff I've been working on. To prove to you guys that I'm not just like quitting everything. It's a different thing that I have to prioritize. Like I'd say that's what I really want to stress is that I know there's been a lot of YouTube channels that like they just stop because they're like, oh, I'm never gonna go anywhere with this. And so they just quit YouTube altogether. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just taking a different route and I'm focusing on what I think is most important to my career. And that would obviously be like 3D for me. It's what I love doing the most. And it's a skill. And so, yeah, this is some of the stuff I've worked on. Um, yeah, man, I can't wait for Halloween because when I did like this was last Halloween when I did these artworks, and I wasn't as good back then. And now I feel like I can make some pretty gnarly shit. So if you want some sick like horror art or something like that, definitely hit me up. And if you just want to stay tuned for some of that stuff, yeah, follow me on Instagram, jham.3d. Also, that leads us to this. This is my second channel, which I've kept kind of hush until now. To those of you that want to support me, hear me out. Okay, this is gonna sound like counterintuitive. Um, Subscribe to this channel, this jham3d channel, only if you're actually like gonna watch the videos and interact with them. But if you're not, then it kind of screws up the algorithm, and then the algorithm is like telling YouTube that, oh, half of his subscribers aren't even paying attention to his videos, so they're like not bots, but they're not interested. So if you're not actually interested like don't just subscribe to be nice. Like obviously I appreciate that to a human level, but subscribe only if you're really going to keep in touch with it and engage with it and whatnot. So yeah, we got some crazy stuff on here. um I don't want to I don't want to destroy your ears. I could show you some of these, but yeah, they're pretty random, some of them, um see, maybe we could watch this one with the audio. Let's do it with the audio. It's probably way too loud. Dude, oh my god, that hurt my ears. But yeah, anyways, just I don't know if I got you with the jump scare or not, but yeah, some ridiculous shit. And the sky's the limit for this, like what am I gonna make next? I don't know for sure, but I have a notebook, well, so many notebooks just full of ideas for projects, and then also ideas for YouTube videos, which are not just going to be tutorials, and they're not just going to be um this sort of thing. Like I'm working on a video comparing modern day cartoons to old cartoons, and like stuff from the golden era of animation. And I'm almost done with that edit. So if that is a topic you're interested in, like if you think that, 2D animated cartoons were better than the 3D animated ones, this is a deep dive into that. And it's going to talk about like why I think 3D animation played a role in like maybe decreasing the quality overall of cartoons, at least personally. I build the case for restoring 2D animation and bringing it back to the industry, not because one is inherently better than the other, but just because they're different art forms. And it's like, just because a guitar, like for instance, a lot of people think that 3D animation is better than 2D animation because they're using technology. But like everyone knows by now that electric guitars aren't inherently better than acoustic guitars. Like they both have their time and a place. And that's how I feel about 2D animation. So I hope that we can see a revival of 2D animation. If that is a topic that you're kind of interested in, definitely give this channel a look, subscribe, and be on the lookout for that sort of video. I think that pretty much wraps up this whole thing. So, yeah, I might play some like Apex or something now, just to kind of celebrate, the time being my last day ever editing podcasts. It feels crazy, but by no means is my life gonna get easier. It's gonna be like, hey, thank you, I appreciate that. Gooby Dolans, shout out to you. Thanks, man. Yeah, super stoked for this stuff. So I understand if the rest of you aren't necessarily like, this is a totally different thing than metal, and I get that, and I don't want to force you to, like, oh, you subscribe to me and you're supposed to love it. No. So yeah, um all the support is appreciated, and everything that we've done to this point, everything I've done on my main or my first channel over here is, it's been incredible. I've loved it. And there's been a lot of highlights, and I'll never forget, like I've made some really good friends from this channel. I've made some really good connections from this channel. Um yeah, I mean, thinking about that, like that's crazy. I've met a lot of musicians over Instagram that found me on YouTube, and they're becoming some of like my best friends in a way, at least digitally, and it's their connections that like I would have never thought I'd had. Like, I've been able to talk to some band members that like otherwise without this channel they would have never talked to me. But I've had conversations with like guys from Ultraviolence, the guys from Until I Wake, and I've had some of them like comment on my artwork and say like, "Oh, that looks great," and that just means the world to me. Like it's yeah, it's crazy. So, we got a comment here. Marcos, let me try to, dude. OBS is so crowded. Focusing on what you really love is brave. For sure, you'll get the support from us, the community. No, I appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much for that. You like, there's obviously a lot of hesitation that goes into making a decision like this, and it's been something that I've thought about for a long time. Like ever since I, you know, started paying the bills with podcast editing, it was like, is this what I want to do? And I was never really sure what I really wanted to do. And I don't think you ever really are sure exactly what you want to do. Um, but yeah, just coming out and being like honest with you guys about what's going on, it really is like it gets a lot off of my chest. Damn, some Joe Biden stutters. Gets a lot off of my chest because, you know, like I said, I love this community. Um, and yeah, so yeah, Marcos, if do you want to keep in touch with like all the other stuff I'm doing again, jham.3d on Instagram, and yeah, so I don't know exactly what we'll be posting on jham Entertainment, um but I have ideas. But as a content creator, if you guys are thinking about being like a YouTuber or just a creator of any type, I picked up a piece of advice that was really, really helpful to me. If you are thinking about doing a project and you haven't started it yet, or you're not almost done with it yet, don't announce it. Because who knows what's going to happen. Sometimes you just don't want to do it anymore, and sometimes you just can't do it. I don't know. But it just doesn't come out sometimes, and you made this huge hype about it, and it never happens. And then you have to be the one that's like, well, I didn't, I'll change my mind, whatever it is. It just, but then there's the other thing of like being confident enough in yourself to admit that, like, and being humble enough to admit that, maybe you made a mistake, or it's okay to not follow through with everything and just kind of look like an idiot sometimes and just be like, yeah, I probably shouldn't have said I was going to do that because I knew it was like unfeasible at the time. But there's the whole thing of being ambitious and taking chances, taking risks. So, but yeah, with that said, like I have a few ideas for some really big projects for this channel, but I don't want to say much more than that because like I already had one of those projects kind of go off the deep end, and I don't. It's kind of up in the air right now. So yeah, wise words. Yeah, well, when you listen to podcasts every single day, you meet some wise people and you hear from some wise people. So that's an interesting part of my life, is that like I feel like I've had so many conversations with people that don't know who I am. Like cuz I edit the podcast, so it's a little more intimate than just like listening to the podcast, but at the same time it's just, you're just listening to the podcast. It's so boring, by the way. That's why I can't do it. You'd imagine going from doing a reaction to like sitting down for 2 hours and just fucking watching a podcast basically and cutting every time somebody burps. My god. That is not what I want to do. So, and yeah, I could imagine if you've watched this channel, you'd understand why that's crazy. Like that's not built for me. Even just as a kid, I was never meant to be like, I was so bad at just like sitting in place and like shutting up and just, paying attention to class. Never been good at that. So podcast editing wasn't really for me, but you got to do what you got to do. So, be smart. If you're going to make a decision like this is a calculated decision for me to take this stuff full time, YouTube and 3D. So, you got to pay the bills. So be smart about everything. But let's see. It's like how people say they're gonna go to the gym, eat right, and then the next day they don't follow through and complain. Best things keep silent until you get to the hard part. Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Like, as somebody that goes to the gym a lot, like you can see, I have my douchebag Gym Shark shirt on. Yeah, no, I think that's there's the whole thing of like announcing something on social media to like hold yourself accountable, you know? And that works sometimes when you have like, a handful of people that are like, you said you were gonna do this. Why aren't you doing it? And that definitely helps you to be like, okay, you're right, you're right. I'm being a dumbass. I got, but I'd say like most times it's easy to just suck that up and be like, yeah, I'm an idiot, but I'm not going to the gym. I'm not running that marathon I said I was gonna run. I'll just take the shame, I guess. But yeah, I think yeah, follow your dreams, do what feels right, and life is too short. Yeah, amen. Dude, I had we've had some well, the people close to me, like my girlfriend and my family, we've had some like scary fucking moments recently in our lives. Everybody has these, right? But like um not too long ago, several months ago, somebody was just like brutally murdered, okay, in front of his family. I don't want to go into detail. It's tragic, and I hate talking about it. I hate bringing it up because it's like I don't want to be the guy that's bringing up negative shit, you know. But anyways, he was mid 20s or something. I didn't know him too much personally, but he was close to my family, and he had kids, and they watched it happen, and he did nothing wrong. Like he would it was just, I guess, somebody decided it was his day to go. And yeah, I'm getting chills talking about it because it's so unfair. It's like what he did nothing wrong, you know. Um, but he was taken off this earth forever, and that really did like make me sit down and say like, I don't know when my last day on this planet is, and none of us do. It doesn't matter how young you are. It doesn't matter how healthy you are. This could be your last day. Just somebody just decides like I'm gonna stab him or whatever, you know. Um, so you got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you love, and you got to enjoy life to the fullest, you know. And I don't want to sound like some guru, like Jesus character here, but seriously, this could be your last day. This could be your last week. Who knows? And I just thought to myself, like, I would hate to know that if there is some sort of afterlife or whatever, if there is any sort of consciousness after you die, I would really hate to look back and be like, wow, I spent all that time, doing stuff I didn't want to do. And that's, yeah, as hard as it gets, doing stuff you really want to do. I mean, there's a lot of gut punches you have to take, like it's hard to start a business and actually make it work. And I hardly have experience doing it, but from the experience that I do have, it's like, it's difficult doing what you want to love and turning it into something that supports you, um, or just finding the time to have a hobby that you love. It can be really difficult. But at the end of the day, that's the kind of stuff that you live for, you know? So, yeah, it's true. And that's also why, you know, if you right now are going through like I think it was a great lesson for me to like analyze every part of my day-to-day life that like made me depressed or made me frustrated or like it just wasn't something I want to spend my time on. And then also focusing on like what are the things I could replace that with so that I could be happier and not caring, not giving a shit in the world about what other people think about those things. So like, if I need to fucking play Apex for 3 hours on Friday nights. I don't care if people think that's a lazy thing to do. If I can do that, if I can make the time for it and it's fine, then hell yeah, let's do that. Like that's gonna make me happy, and I love playing games with my friends and whatnot. And you cannot cut out all your relationships, whether it's a girlfriend, a boyfriend, um, your friends, or your family. If you don't have good, stable relationships, you will at some point burn out and feel like, why am I doing all this? Like, what is the point? You have to have other people in your life. And as introverted as I am personally, as introverted as you are, like, or anybody is, sorry, um, you may be, like, you still need people. And it might just be a handful of people. To some people, they need 30. To some people, they need 4. I'm personally on the, lower side of things. I don't need that many people in my life to like really offer support or, happiness and enjoyment. But without them, it's like you're done. Me with Animal Crossing. um, so so yeah, I don't know. Um, maybe I'll play some Apex now. I don't know. If there's any questions, Burnout has been crazy. Yeah, burnout is a tough one to deal with because like I've had that a few times. As somebody dude, OBS, that is so annoying. I also just suck at running this, but let's put this over here. But yeah, um, well, do you mind if I ask, like, what is it that you're working on that you feel burnt out on? Because I'm only, I'm almost 20. I'm 20 in like 6 or 7 days. So I don't know a whole lot about everything, but I have some experience. For me, I've heard, I've read into like avoiding burnout before. And there's a few things that help me day to day to avoid burnout. One of them is just like leaving some fuel in the tank after every day. I think my camera's gonna die, so I gotta switch cameras. But yeah, don't work yourself like 14 hours every day, because you're not going to be able to do that every day, forever. At least maybe if you have a plan, like for 3 weeks I have to do this, that's fine. But don't expect to do it for like 8 months or whatever. um but yeah, you also have to sit down and like think about really like why is it you're doing this, and is this going to result in any like enjoyment in my life, extra enjoyment and happiness in my life. And if it's not, then like maybe you got to do something else. Yeah, my camera is gonna die. So, let's see. Said best of luck, dude. For real, as an artist myself, I've had problems doing art in general because burnout, depression. Sometimes I just can't shake stuff out. Yeah, I think it looks like he's still typing it. But yeah, just going off of that, I totally get that, man. Like some days, some days it's like, well, yeah, I don't feel like doing anything sometimes either, and it's so hard because we live in a world where like the people that give us advice are typically like Gary V, like business guy types that are just like screaming at you to like work harder. But like that's nice, Gary V. Um it's one thing to like just show up and work hard. It's another thing to actually have to show up and think. There goes my camera. Let's fix this real quick. You know, so I get that as an artist. Like it's not easy to just there's a different kind of pressure with creative thinking that you can't just be, at a terrible feeling every day and be able to have a great output. That's why it's so important as a creative person to have your entire life in check, or at least be working to do that. Because if not, then you typically can't think very clearly, and it hurts your work. Where the goddamn. Here we go. I'll just shut the camera off for now. Um, switch to my other one. But yeah, so that's why, like, getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep, that's something I try to do every day so that I can at least feel better about myself. Like that just alone, even if you're not doing great, that alone can help a lot. Um, as far as depression goes, it's like one of those complicated things where, I'm not a goddamn doctor, and everybody's thing is a lot different. Everybody has a slightly different experience and stuff going on in their life, but like, yeah, the things that really help me the most are just making sure, like, I eat good, I go to the gym and stay healthy, and then I have healthy relationships, and making sure that everything outside of my work life is solid and stable. And like that alone is enough to like make me happy to a degree. So, and it's a long process because it's not easy to like fix all of that. If you have, it sounds, it sounds like overwhelming at times, like, oh, you have to have everything in check. No, not really. But it's smart to try to do it and try to like make everything in your life as stable as it can be, or as, supportive to your mental health as it can be. So, yeah, what kind of art do you do, if you don't mind sharing? Oh, okay. No, I got you. No worries, man. Thank you for listening. Speaking out of corporate jobs, very soon, in fact. Oh man. Well, yeah. Keep up the work, and thanks for tuning in. And I appreciate all the support. And look at this stupid webcam. But yeah, awesome, man. Have a great shift, and I hope that I hope that you as an artist can find what you love too. Thank you, dude. Look at me just moving this around like a fucking idiot. Why, dude? It's literally. Let's see. Where's it at? Oh my god. Wow. I think this is entertainment in itself. Oh, cool. Painting, drawing, and sculptures. Yeah, all things that I suck too much to do. Uh, See ya, man. No, this is a puzzle game now. I'm just gonna try to line this up. It's supposed to snap, but I think I got it. Is that it? I got it. Let's go. Yeah, I'm gonna play some Apex. Oh my god, that's not the window. Yeah, so I think the bulk of this announcement is pretty much over with now. So if you guys tune in, if anybody else tunes in and I guess I was queued that whole time in Apex, and it doesn't look like I'm going to be playing that. So let's going to do some arenas. Let's do it. Maybe I can get my friends to join. Uh, one sec. One sec. One sec. One sec. One sec. Muted that just in case. Okay. My friends hate me. Dude, these queues can take forever. Well, I might just end the stream and I'll probably stream later with my buddies. So that's something you want to look at. Stay tuned for some shitty ass Apex play. Cause we all suck at this game, but we're getting better. Okay? Yeah, so I appreciate all the support and I love you guys. See you guys next time.